Welcome back. Today we have Sammie from season 1 of The Circle joining us for a very special Mother's Day month lineup. Sammie, welcome to the pod.
Hi, thank you for having me.
We're so excited.
So
I
excited.
know, me too, especially for Mother's Day. It's not my first Mother's Day, but I feel like it's the first Mother's Day that I actually like get to enjoy and like interact with my son now because before like last year's Mother's Day, he was just a potato. So this year
Right.
he's like actually doing stuff and moving around and like knows who I am. So that's
That's
nice.
exciting. He's 1 now, right?
Yeah, he's one.
That's so fun. And
Crazy.
are you in Miami?
No, I'm in Philadelphia right now.
Okay. Have you
Nice.
moved there full time?
Yeah, so I was in Miami and then in 2020 I moved to LA and I lived in LA for like 2.5 years and then I just bought a house in Pennsylvania like a month ago.
Okay, nice. Are you loving
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. I mean, I hate the cold. I haven't lived anywhere cold in like 7 or 8 years, but it's really nice being around my family with like having the baby. Just my sisters, both my sisters are down the street, my dad's down the street, my parents, my grandparents, cousins, my aunts, like everyone is within like 15, 20-minute drive. And like my closest friends, my best friend who I've known since I was 10 years old, everyone is super, super close.
That's awesome. You have a great support system.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it.
We have so many, mommy questions for you, but I think we'll start off with The Circle, which is kind of where we know you from. And
Oh, wow, I
you,
haven't talked about the circle in so long.
oh yeah, you
Ooh.
have a
Yeah.
huge fan base. I see you're
Yeah.
like 1 million followers, and not everybody watches every season, but I have not come across somebody who doesn't know who you are.
Yeah.
So you've had a lot of following. So I guess I just want to ask you, what made you apply? How did you apply? How did that whole process start?
Yeah, so I didn't apply. I had gotten something sent to my email. It didn't say like Netflix specifically or The Circle specifically. It just said apply for a show. Honestly, it was so long ago. It was in 2019. So like I completely at this point it's like lost my brain. But I had received something in my email and I had filled it out, and it was like in January, I think, of 2019. So by April, I had gotten a phone call, and I was at work at the time. And so they left me a voicemail, and it was this woman, Tiffany, and she was like, "Hi, Samantha, I saw your application. Like, I would love to interview you, whatever." And I was like, "I'm not calling this person back because I don't want an interview for what? I don't need a job." So, 2 weeks goes by, and she called me two more times, and I'm like, "What is going on?" So finally, the third phone call, I was leaving work. I had just had a really bad day, and I answered the phone, like, "Hello," and she's like, "Hi, Samantha, it's Tiffany calling you again. Like, I would love to interview you. We have this opportunity, and I think you'd be great for it." And I was like, "Okay, like, just tell me when." And so we had scheduled it for that weekend, and it was like a 2-hour Zoom call.
Gee.
And she had told me then that it was for, or no, over email, what it was for exactly. So they told me like what to wear, not what to wear, but like things not to wear, how to wear, whatever. To be like dress nice, be enthusiastic, and it was for a television opportunity. I'm pretty sure is what they said. So, I was living in Miami at the time, and there's a lot of scammers. There's a lot of people who tell you, they're model agencies or this or that. So like part of me was really like closed off to it, but I was also really excited. So I remember getting ready and I did it, and it was like 2 hours long. And at the end of it, it was her and one of the other producers, Raphael. And at the end of it, she was like, "Okay, so basically we're gonna take this whole 2 hours and then we're gonna compress it into 1 minute and give it to the producers." And I was like, 1 minute? Like, you guys didn't tell me that you were only going to cut out 1 minute. Like, how do I know I performed well? And they're like, "Oh, you're fine." I didn't hear back from them for like almost 2 months. And I forgot about it at that point in time. Like, I was like, "Oh, okay, I guess like they just didn't think of me." And then June is when they were like, "Hey, we're flying you out to California in July." And so I flew to California for like 3 days, and they locked me up in a hotel room, took away my phone, took away all electronics, everything. And I had to go through psych evaluations, and I met with the producers. And then from there, they were like, "Okay, you're going to the UK, you're going to the United Kingdom." And so then I flew out August 8th, but I didn't find out until August 7th that I was actually on the show and like going, or not even on the show yet, because you don't know you're on the show until like they tell you you're on the show.
Right.
And they make sure you know that. They make sure you know, like, there's no guarantee you coming all the way here. We have no idea if you're actually going to be on the show, if you're going to get any screen time. We can't make any promises, so like don't get your hopes up. And yeah, and then it was kind of, it just was like a domino effect from there. I came back from LA. It was like a month of waiting. And then on the 7th is when I got the Zoom call, and they were like, okay, well, you're going and you leave tomorrow. And I was like, okay. And that was it. And I went, and then I was in my apartment for like a week. And then they said, okay, you're going in. And I didn't know I was one of the first people in. I had no idea.
At that point, did you know it was Netflix?
Yes. Yeah. So before I got flown to LA is when they give you all the non-disclosures. So
Okay.
everything, that's when I found out it was Netflix. That's when I had like my lawyer look over all the paperwork. And that's when I told my parents about it. And even still, it was still kind of like, you're kind of putting your fate in these people's hands. Like, I just kind of got on a plane, and when I got off the plane, handed over my phone and my electronics. Like, that could have been it for me. It could have been like that in the UK too. But yeah, it was all Netflix stuff, all non-disclosures. I had all the contacts and information of all the people who worked for Netflix. So it was really, really professional.
Did you know what the show was going to be about at that point? Or did you think it was going to be like some Love Island thing where they just throw you on, or like Too Hot to Handle or anything like that?
No. So I did know that I would be by myself in a hotel or like in an apartment. I knew that I was going to be by myself completely for an extended period of time. They made sure to tell us that because we had to go through a lot of psych evaluations, and we had a therapist on call who was able to come see us at any point in time. And even after like we had gotten back, for a month after we had gotten back, after the show filmed, we got phone calls from the therapist, and she was amazing. And then after the show aired, she called us for like a month after that to just like check up on us like once a week. She would call us. We could text her at any time on WhatsApp. Like, they were very hands-on, super, super professional, and they cared a lot about our mental health.
That's amazing. Because the Love is Blind, we've talked to some people from Love is Blind who were saying that they wish that they would have mandated or made very accessible therapists, which I guess they did not.
It's different production companies.
Oh.
So people don't realize that Netflix is like the umbrella, right?
Yeah.
But there's different production companies within who do each show. So Love is Blind and The Circle didn't have the same production. Whereas like Love is Blind and Perfect Match, I think they have the same production. And I heard Perfect Match didn't have the best, people behind them either when it came to that. So I know it's different production companies, but as for mine, like I felt so safe, and always getting people checking up on me, and we really became like one big family. We all look out for each other a lot. Even the castmates, like we were all checking up on each other, when people were talking bad about one another, like we would stick up for each other. And people also didn't understand, it was so different from any other show. So me not liking somebody else on the show, like I don't know that person, like I only see a picture of them and their words, so it's different. So like if I didn't like somebody, you guys saw I have a lot of followers, and it was a lot of people from other countries, so they'd be like, oh well, we don't like that person either, kind of thing. And I'm like, guys, it's not that serious. It's just a show and it's just a game. But yeah, overall, like production was great, everything was great. The only downfall is that it was their first run, so we were kind of like the guinea pigs of The Circle. So being in the UK, all the apartments were insulated, but during the time that we were there was like a heat wave going on. And so we were basically just like stuck in these hot boxes. There's LED lights that were like ran throughout our whole ceiling that were on 23 hours of the day, never got turned off. So it was like super, super hot. We couldn't open any doors. We couldn't open any windows. We had no air conditioning because they don't have those in the UK. They just have window units, but we didn't have any windows. So that was tough.
When you first went into The Circle, you said that you were taken. You marked your profile as single, and you had mentioned that you were in an on and off relationship.
Yes.
So I just wanted to know what happened to that partner. Are you still together? Can you tell us
Yeah,
a
he
little bit
was
about
like
that?
honestly my best friend. And I definitely consider him one of my soulmates. Like we know that for a fact. It was just not a relationship where it was romantic at all. Like it was somebody who has seen me grow and has been in my life and loved me and I loved him, but it wasn't like it was very platonic. But yeah, no, he's cool. He visited me when I was in LA, when I lived in LA. He's just a really, really good person.
Okay, nice.
What was it like living in LA? I'm always curious because I really want to go visit. What were your thoughts on it?
Uh it's great it was great for single Sammie
Yeah.
who was like able to like go out and explore and like do fun things. It was amazing. It was great. And I found my group of friends. Like when I first moved there, I was like, oh, like I don't really like the people here. But when I found my solid group of friends, I would say in the last like year and a half, I have grown to like love it. I love it so much. Even since moving back, I've already gone back once for like a whole week, and then I'm leaving on Tuesday and I'll be back there for another 2 weeks.
That's amazing.
It definitely wasn't my time. Like I'm not done with LA, but at this moment in time, I just need more help with the baby.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Well, we hope to see you there one day. We'll be there a lot too.
Yeah.
Um, a question about the whole apartment building. Does Netflix or the production company take over that entire building that they show?
Yes.
Okay, I was wondering. I was like,
Yes.
how does that work?
You had said when you entered the circle that you were a behavior technician for children on the autism spectrum. Are you still in that line of work?
No, so I was getting my master's degree while I was filming the show. I got my master's in December of 2021 and I submitted my hours, and then I quit my therapist job in March of 2022. No, that couldn't be because I had Bray. Okay, I lied. I finished my hours in December of 2020, and then I quit in March of 2021. And then I went full time, just social media from March of 2021 till now.
Gotcha. Okay, great. And so
Mhm.
are you just doing the influencer thing at the moment?
Yeah, just social media.
Yeah, I love seeing your content. I hope you do more YouTube
Thank you.
videos.
Yes, no, they're coming. Don't worry. I stopped for a little while. So I had to stop. Obviously, when I had a baby, it was just like too much and too overwhelming to like edit and learn how to be a mom. And then I've been pretty consistent like every Sunday for the past couple months at this point, I think like 2 months. And then I stopped for like 2 weeks because I was moving into the house and I had Bray's birthday. But I just uploaded a video the other day and I'll have another one up this Sunday
Okay,
Ooh,
great.
and the Sunday after that. So every Sunday, we're just going to
love
keep it
it.
every Sunday. Roll out content.
That's amazing. I have to ask because I've forgotten to ask every single person we've spoke to on the circle. When
Yeah.
you're talking to the screen, are
Mhm.
they actually typing out that like as you're speaking, or is that an
Yeah.
after edit?
No.
Okay, so that's like
It's like as soon as you talk, it's like you know how when you get your phone and you like record your words. I don't know if you
yes.
ever do that, but
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's just the exact thing. It like types it out right as you're like talking.
Huh.
But does it ever make a mistake?
Yeah, like how does it know for sure?
Yeah, there's someone typing it for you.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
gotcha.
Like it's a
okay.
physical person sitting there typing
That's what
Gotcha.
as they're listening to you.
Okay, okay.
it's not
Yeah.
like a talk to
You
text.
have your own personal like team. So like you have your producer who's like watching you all day long, then you have your camera crew, and then you have like your I don't know what a typer is called, but
Yeah,
you have
yeah,
one person. You have your own person who comes and like gets your like laundry if you want to wash your clothes or your sheets, and you have someone who comes and brings you your groceries. So yeah,
Damn.
Nice.
everyone has a job.
So looking back on it all, any regrets? Are you so happy that you did the show?
Yes, I would go back and do it all over again.
Okay, so if they invited you back, your game.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. And any other shows that you would be interested in doing?
So I was actually supposed to go on the challenge, and like 2 days before I was supposed to leave, I ended up getting COVID.
Oh
And then,
shit.
I was like, okay, great. I got better. A couple months later, I was like, okay, like, I kind of want to like talk to someone about getting back into possibly doing the next season. And then I got pregnant.
Okay, gotcha.
So the universe was like, you're not going on the challenge anytime soon, man.
Well, we would love to see you on eventually.
I know. I think I would kill it. I was even working out. Like I got a personal trainer. I was working out. I was ready to go.
That would have been amazing.
Have you applied to other shows like Big Brother,
No.
Survivor?
The
No.
only way that I would be able to do Big Brother or Survivor is if they did like an all-star season, because like they get like people who haven't been on shows yet to do those kind of shows. And the only people who get to do like Big Brother, like all-stars, or people who have already been on shows only get to do like the all-stars or but I've never watched Big Brother.
Highly recommend it.
Very.
Really?
Yeah, I love it.
Okay.
Absolutely love it. It's really
I
good.
love Survivor.
I think you would actually be really good at Big Brother.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I could
Okay.
definitely see you on it for sure. How long was the dinner at the end of the show? And what the hell did you guys eat?
Nothing.
No?
No, dinner. It was like grapes and cheese. I don't know how long. I didn't keep track at all. We didn't have clocks. We weren't allowed to have like clocks or calendars, so I didn't know what time it was ever. And I didn't know what day it was. I actually drew a calendar on a whiteboard so that I could keep track. And I was counting down the days so I could go home. I have no idea how long it was.
Were you ever approached because when we were talking to Chris Sapphire, he was saying that at that point there was going to be somebody else who had already been on The Circle go on another episode. Were you ever approached to go on another episode of The Circle at any point in time?
Yeah.
Were.
Yeah, so my sister had applied for The Circle, and one of the main producers obviously realized that she was my sister, and she texted me and she was like, "Did you know your sister applied for The Circle?" And I was like, "Yeah, I was going to text you and tell you, but like I guess you saw it before me." And she was like, "Well, would you be opposed to going on with her and catfishing with her, but like being her profile?" And I was like, "No, I wouldn't be opposed to that, but the only issue is like even with TikToks and like social media, people are like, "Aren't you Sammie's sister?" So like there could have been a possibility of people realizing that she was my sister, especially if like it was season 3 or 4 that we would have been going on to. And so like that would have been an issue, but I don't think that really would have been a big deal, especially because they had Chloe on there and she was known from Too Hot to Handle. So like it was like, okay, who cares about that part? But yeah, so me and her interviewed together. They just wanted to see what our dynamic was like. And then we found out that they picked Shoe Bomb to go on.
Yeah, we just chatted with him recently. He had a great experience. Obviously, we were rooting for him, but
yeah, I love Shoe Bomb. That's my bestie.
Yeah. Who are you, most in touch with from season 1?
See, when people ask that, I can't like give a solid answer of who I'm most in touch with because I'm in touch with so many of them on the same like level. But like I was just in Dallas with Chris.
We saw that. Oh my God.
Yeah.
We saw it. We were like, what the hell? It would have been so cool to have you here in studio.
Yeah, I know. I literally told I said I was going to be in Dallas like during those times, but I don't think it worked out with you guys.
Yeah, unfortunately.
But yeah, so I was in Dallas, and then what else did I do? Who else was I talking to? Oh, Karen was supposed to come for Bray's first birthday party, but she couldn't make it. I just had Miranda over my house when I was in LA, like right before I moved away. Shoe Bomb was there. I feel like Shoe Bomb is the one that I've seen the most, where like we won't talk, but like he'll text me and be like, "Hey, what are you doing on Thursday?" And I'll be like, "Nothing, let's go out to eat," and then we'll meet. And he's more of like the person that like will actually go do things together. But yeah, I talk to pretty much everyone the same, especially with social media. Like I keep up with everyone. I make sure I'm keeping up with all their socials. And if I'm ever in an area where they're gonna be, like I make sure to see them. I don't know if you guys saw, but like a lot of the Circle people came to Bray's first birthday. So Raven was here. Sam, the winner of season 5, was here. Alyssa was here. Who else came? Antonio was here.
Oh wow.
I think that was it.
Okay, super fun. So I guess you weren't pregnant in the COVID, or were things still a little bit locked down during your pregnancy?
No, I wasn't in COVID at all. It wasn't any kind of lockdown when I was pregnant.
You dodged all that drama.
Yeah, all of it.
Okay, nice. So it was good.
But I got COVID while I was pregnant.
Oh no.
On New Year's. And I'm triple vaccinated, and all of those vaccines happened while I was pregnant.
Okay. So how was your pregnancy experience?
Amazing.
Yeah, easy.
I had honestly the best pregnancy and birth ever. I feel like I'm definitely not a good candidate to talk to moms about, because like the chances of your first pregnancy being so as easy as mine was is like slim to none. And I remember when I was at the hospital after my water had broken, which also isn't common, and I didn't know that. Only like 10% of women actually have their water break.
Yeah.
And I did not know that at all. But yeah, when I was at the hospital, like my water had broke and they were like, okay, like when do you want your epidural? And I was like, now, like the fuck, give me that shit right now, because it hurt so bad. And so they're like, okay, they gave me my epidural and I was like, okay, well, when is he gonna come out? And they were like, oh, it's your first pregnancy, like this is your first time giving birth, you're gonna be a while. And I was like, what do you mean? I was not a while. In like 5 hours his head was already halfway out of my vagina, and
Wow.
I just had to put, yeah, he came out in like 3 pushes.
Amazing.
He just
And
shot out.
did you have an inclination if you were having a boy or girl?
So I had my first, okay, so when I first found out I was pregnant, I didn't have any insurance at all. And so I was like, you know, stressed out, had to figure out like, okay, I have to get insurance. And so I went to this clinic, you know, right in Koreatown, not the best neighborhood, but I knew it was going to be cheap out of pocket. And I probably wouldn't get the best care, but I just wanted to make sure everything was good. So I was like 11 or 12 weeks pregnant, and I went in for a checkup, and you know, they took an ultrasound, they took some blood. It was quite honestly the worst experience I've ever had in a doctor's office. And so they took all my, you know, vitals and everything, and they were like, okay. I was like, I don't want to know the gender of my baby, because I know that at 12 weeks you can find out the gender when they take your blood. And I was like, I don't want to know. And they were like, okay, like don't worry, you won't know. Now, mind you, I've never had a baby before, so I have no idea that like when your blood work is done, they send it through an email onto this like you know, secure web medical thing information. And I don't know, so I just clicked on it and it was like, oh yeah, your baby, you know, is clear for all the diagnoses that it could have. And then at the top of it, it said 99% male. And I was like, that doesn't mean that I'm having a boy, right? Like that, they wouldn't do that. They would tell me that was going to be there before I looked. And it's like 5 o'clock in the morning, and the father of my child, he sleeps until like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'm sitting there freaking out because he wanted to know. I didn't want to know. And I'm like crying and I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh my God. I just like, because I wanted to make it a big thing. Like, first of all, nobody knew I was pregnant yet. Second of all, I wanted to wait until Christmas for all of us to find out together what the gender would be. And I was sitting there like, I really just did that to myself. And then so he ended up calling me. Thank God he woke up at like 9 a.m. And I was like, I know the gender. And then when he found out we were having a boy, he was like so excited. But it took away the excitement for me. Like, obviously I was so excited. I didn't care if I was having a boy or a girl. But it took away the excitement of knowing the gender, because I found out by myself like so early in the morning.
Looking at lab work. Yeah.
Yes. Like, what the hell?
You wanted a big gender reveal party.
No, not even a gender reveal, because we didn't have a gender reveal. But I wanted us all to sit around together and like open up something together. Yeah. Like just my family. Yeah. I didn't want it on, you know, on social media. I wasn't recording it or anything. But just to be with my family. And my family's all girls. I have 6 sisters, 2 brothers, but like they're the youngest. And my family is pretty much all women. So I have 2 cousins who are boys, and they were like waiting for us to have a boy in the family at some point in time. And I ended up, you know, having the boy. So whatever. We just told everybody when we came home for Christmas.
That you were pregnant?
No, that I was having a baby. I mean, that I was having a boy.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say you have a big family. So
I could have. Yeah. I could have hit it until December for sure. I wasn't like showing at all until like after New Year's.
Okay. So you had a lot of phone calls to make. Sounds like you have a big family. A lot of people to tell.
Yeah. No, I told everybody in person. Fuck that. Oh, really? I would have just had to send out a group message like, hey guys, we're having a baby. No.
Okay, nice. So what would you say or describe your parenting style to be?
I don't think I have a parenting style yet. Just because he's still very much a baby. I can tell you what I'm not. I'm not a helicopter parent. That's what I'm definitely not. But yeah, I'm pretty easygoing. Unless it comes to food. Like food is the only thing where I'm not. I just want to make sure like he's safe. But like with everything else, I let him play in the dirt. I don't really care if he makes a mess. You know, I let him be a kid. That's how my parents had me. That's how my parents raised me. We were able to make a mess and be loud and have fun and just do all the things that kids should do.
Yeah, absolutely. So seems like you have a big family. I know that sometimes when people have babies, it's really important to them to pass on their family traditions or start new family traditions. Is there anything that you did from your childhood that you want to implement in your son's childhood, or something new you want to start?
I've been thinking about that a lot lately, and with my family, we have so many traditions that we've done, just like with my parents. I definitely want to pass all of them on. Uh, but I haven't really thought about like any new things that I want to do with him just yet. I guess one thing that I did today, this morning, I've always seen it in movies. My family never did it, but you know, when you stand up against the wall and they like mark the height of the kids. So I did that today in his bedroom and marked it like on his closet. So I guess that's a tradition that I started that's new that I want to keep doing.
That's very cute. I wish someone had told me earlier. I started it, a little bit late, but I have a memory box where I keep all their birthday cards and all the cards that people send them. But I actually write them a letter every 4 or 6 months, giving them an update of what's going on in their life, because I feel like they grow so fast and you start to lose track of, you forget like, oh, what was their favorite TV show when they were 2.5 and stuff like that.
That's cute. I have a box like that where his first couple months of when he was born, me and his dad would write in a journal and like write to him. Well, we wrote to him while I was pregnant. So throughout my pregnancy, we wrote in a journal, and then we opened another journal when he was born and wrote in that journal. And I've been taking a lot of Polaroids and stuff like that. I think it comes more so not from what traditions I want to do with him, but I lost my mom when I was like 2. And so I just think about all the things that I would have loved to have from her. Like I would have loved to read letters from her when she was pregnant or after she had me, anything like that.
So, do you want to have more kids?
Yes. I always told myself that once I popped out one, like I was just gonna be like boom, 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 and just pop out a bunch
Are you
at the
pregnant?
same time. That's not happening because having one is a lot, like a lot more than I expected. And I've worked with kids. My master's degree is working with children. I'm the oldest of 8 siblings. So like I'm used to children, but having your own, like one that you can't just like be like, okay, I'm done with it. Like here, take it back. That's a lot. And I don't think I could, if I was pregnant right now. No, man. No, 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 no.
What has been the biggest change since becoming a mom?
My freedom. Like I am such the type of person who like will get up in the morning, like get dressed, get ready, and like let's leave the house and go do stuff. And now I find myself sitting in the house way more because it's such a hassle to get myself ready, get him ready, get him in the car. By the time all that happens, I'm tired. Like I don't want to go anywhere else. I don't want to do anything. So like it has to be something, it has to be worth it for us to go out. Like today, we went to Linville Orchard. This is like this farm, and they do like face painting, and it's really cute. And they had the Easter bunny. So like that was the one activity today. And then I came home and I was like, my brain is mush.
So there is a million baby products on the market, a ton of things. I was wondering if you could kind of share the 3 must-have products, or the 3 that you felt really helped get you through the first year.
That's probably my favorite question I've ever been asked. I have put all of my friends onto, and like these are moms who were moms before me, and I put them on, so like kind of makes me feel really good. But the diapers that I swear by is Coterie. They sell them at Whole Foods. I don't know where else they sell them. I'm pretty sure it's just Whole Foods. They might be in Target. I might be lying. Walmart. I don't know. but it's in Whole Foods for sure. Their diapers are amazing. Amazing. Wipes, I would say Honest wipes. I use their wipes probably for everything, and their hand sanitizer, their body wash, anything, pretty much anything baby is really great. The only reason I don't like the diapers for Bray is because with Coterie they're wider this way and they're still long, but like they're wider, and he's got like chunky thighs, whereas Honest is super skinny in the middle. So I found that like poop and pee was coming out on the sides because it wasn't long enough to like cover all of his angles, I guess. It's kind of just like underwear.
Yeah.
So those two for sure, as Honest and Coterie. And a third, I don't think I have a third.
I saw that you have the Four Moms bassinet. What was your experience
Yes.
with that?
Yeah. So the Four Moms, I have the Four Moms bassinet and I have the swing, and they're both great. And every baby in my family has used both of them. I think they're great. I mean, I didn't necessarily use like the motions of them. They were both gifted to us for his baby shower. I didn't use the motions for it, but he really liked the music on it, and like just having an enclosed space for him to lay down in next to us worked out amazing. But for like my sister, for my nephew, he loves like the different moving, and I love that you can control it from your phone. You can turn it off, turn it on from your phone, turn it up, turn it down. Like you can do everything. So when he was a newborn, I would put him in that and just like lay in bed and be like, controlling what to do. So he was over there and I could just like turn off and lay in one space.
Right. I wanted to ask you, so you kind of were very open about the fact that you were co-sleeping, which for some reason is
Yes.
such a, taboo topic. People have really strong opinions about it. So I wanted to ask, I know you kind of refer to them on your page as like, you say, super moms don't come for me, or as I say, unsolicited mom advice. How have you kind of handled that part of everything?
The negative part?
Yeah.
I don't. I just kind of ignore it. If I see anything negative, I just like keep it pushing. I really don't care. Because there's always going to be a mom who swears they know more, who swears they do better, who swears they're perfect. And like that just has no space in my life. And no, like I have zero time for that. So yeah, I mean, at first I just had to not read the comments because the first like 3 weeks I was super vulnerable to everything. So I was trying not to post too much, but also at the same time, like I had like personal people, like friends of friends or other mom friends that like my sisters knew or that my aunts knew who are like, you're helping, just wanted you to know, like this person texted me and said like you're the things that you're posting are like really helpful. And so it's things like that where I don't care if I'm helping one person. It doesn't matter how much hate I'm getting. You know what I mean? Especially in the mom world. Like I just feel like we all have to understand that we're all in this together. And I don't know where that got lost in translation over decades, but people need to understand that like we're all doing this together. And I just hear so many great things in other countries about like moms and babies and how they're treated. And I feel like it's just shit here. So I
Right.
just don't care. I literally just don't care. Like I'm going to do what I want and how I want to do it. If my son is safe and healthy and growing and I go to the pediatrician and they're like, yeah, you're doing great, then like everybody else can fuck off.
Right. That makes sense.
And I still co-sleep. He's a year and a month old, and yes, I still oh my god, not a year and a month, girl, he's a year and a week. And yeah, I still co-sleep. He still snuggles me in bed every single night, perfectly fine. He's never suffocated, he's never fallen off the bed.
Yeah. I've co-slept with both my kids too, and like you addressed in your post, most of the world does operate that way.
Yes, literally. Like I was raised co-sleeping. Like it was never a question of if he was gonna sleep with us or not. And I just remember in the hospital, like them telling me like, oh, he can't sleep with you, blah, 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 blah. And I came home and his dad was like, he's not allowed to sleep in bed with us. And I was like, says the fuck who? Like this is our baby. Like what do you mean? Well, the nurses said you're not allowed. And I was like, oh, what are they gonna do? Come yell at us? Like, shut up and lay down. Like this is where the baby's sleeping. He's staying right here next to me. I'm not gonna roll over on my kid. Like, we're good. And he was safe the whole year and a month of his life.
That's awesome. So, since it is Mother's Day, what is your ideal day? If you had the whole day to yourself, no responsibilities, what is your dream day?
My dream day is probably, oh, that's a hard one to ask. See, I'm not at the stage yet where like I want to have a whole day without him because he's not really annoying me yet. He has his moments. Don't worry. He definitely has his moments. He's not the best sometimes, but I'm not at that stage yet where I'm like, yeah, just give me the whole day to just relax and be by myself. I think what my perfect ideal day would be is like take him for the morning because I'm a morning person. So like I want to be able to get up and take like a long shower and do my makeup and do my hair and get in a cute outfit and then like meet somewhere out for brunch and have brunch and then maybe hopefully it's hot out and we can like go lay by a pool and go swimming and then go to bed. That would be my perfect day.
Okay, nice. I did want to say that I feel like you've done a lot of work to try and destigmatize mental health. You've talked about your own struggles really openly. I just wanted to ask, what made you want to share your story so openly with everyone?
I think because a few years ago, I had really gotten into spoken word poems and I had recorded a couple and put them on my YouTube. It was like 7 years ago. It was a really long time. And it was before I had any social media presence whatsoever. And I remember being out at a bar in my hometown and like a group of girls that I knew of, like we went to school together, but we weren't friends like that. Like I didn't know their names firsthand, but like I knew of them. I've seen them before. And they came up to me and they were like, your poem like really helped us. And like, I relate to it a lot. And I cried when I listened to it and I had the same issues. And we were able to have like a really open, vulnerable conversation about our experiences in life. And they were just like, telling me how great it was and how awesome it was to see that. And it opened up a lot of dialogue within my family of the traumas that I've experienced throughout my life and that other like my parents have experienced and just like so many emotions and feelings that it opened up just from one little poem that I did in my room while nobody was home and recorded, you know what I mean? A 3-minute poem. And so from then on, I just became so open about it. Like, I mean, I would say in college and stuff, it was more so I would make jokes about it. So I would, it was a lot of laughter around like my anxiety and stuff I would try to make jokes out of it just to make it easier to talk about. And so now it just doesn't really affect me. Like the first thing that I say to people sometimes, and it's taken a lot to get here. I'm 28 now. I've been suffering from anxiety since I was in elementary school. I've been to multiple therapists. I've been hospitalized. I've dealt with a lot of stuff. And now I'm at the point where it's really freeing to talk about. So like say we have plans to go somewhere, I just met you guys, say we have plans next week and we're going to lunch. That morning, if I feel anxious, if I feel any kind of way that I don't want to be around anybody, I have absolutely zero problem texting you guys and be like, hey guys, I'm actually not coming. I'm having anxiety really bad, or I had a panic attack last night, or whatever the case may be. I have no problem saying that. And however you guys took that doesn't affect me anymore. And so it's taken a lot of work to get to that way, but it feels really freeing and I'm not overthinking all the time. And so back to your question of why I share it so openly and why I talk about it so much is because I wish I had someone when I was younger to tell me all of the things that I say now to help me get to this place that I'm at now way sooner. Because I overthought so much. And I think I, because of the things that I was going through, there was a lot of turmoil and a lot of friendships, a lot of relationships, because I just didn't know myself. And I suffered from a lot of issues that could have been handled so early on, but also I don't fault myself for it because at that time it wasn't talked about as much. It's advocated for way more now.
And you do a great job advocating on your page and just destigmatizing and making it, people more comfortable to talk about it. So that's really commendable.
No, just being out in public and when people notice me or recognize me and come up to me, like you can tell that they're not like hesitant to come up to me. And I like that because there's some people that you feel hesitant to go up to because you just don't know how they're going to react or how they're going to portray it. But I feel that I do a really good job of portraying it through social media, that people don't feel scared to come up to me or talk to me or ask me things. And I really love that. I want to be as inviting and open as possible and continue to be genuine. And I want people to leave my presence and not like feel like uncomfortable or feel heavy. You know how sometimes you leave someone's presence and you're like, oh, should I not have said that, or should I not have done that? You know, I don't want people to ever feel that way with me.
Yeah. How has it been having people come up to you in public since being on the circle? I mean, it seems like you're very approachable, but just in general, is it just like cool to be recognized?
At first, it wasn't at all, because I suffered from really bad social anxiety. And so I was like always overthinking like what I would look like and what I was doing at that time when somebody saw me or things like that. I constantly felt like I had to be like, had a wall up and was super, super nervous. I was also struggling with dealing with so much at one time, you know, like it wasn't just people that I was seeing on the street on a daily basis. It was like really big celebrities that I have been following for years, and actors that I have been watching in movies for years, and artists that I have been listening to and like obsessing over when I was like 15, 16 years old, who are now following me and DMing me and have my phone number and want to hang out. And so it was a lot to juggle. And on top of just dealing with my own mental health and people judging me from a show, it was a lot to handle. But now it's completely different. I don't get noticed nearly as much, but I'm also not outside nearly as much. But when I do get noticed, it's very just genuine, like, hi, like I loved you on the circle. Can we take a picture? And then that's it.
Well, we want to thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us today, especially for we're celebrating Mother's Day for the entire month, and we were really excited to have you on. I think my last question for you is, now as a mom, if you could change one thing about the world, what would it be?
Maternity leave. I hope that they decide to change it one day and make it longer. And also just empathy for moms and what we go through during pregnancy and what we go through after we've given birth and how traumatic it is. I think people really need to talk about that. One thing that I wish we could change, and don't get me wrong, it's a beautiful thing and it's a great thing, but there are a lot of mom influencers who make it out to be this most beautiful, perfect, everything's amazing, everything's great, and nobody really highlights or talks about all the bad things. And that's something that I really was angry with once I was pregnant and having a baby. There was so much I didn't know. And I've been working with kids for years, and I've been the oldest sibling my whole life. And I've babysat and I've worked in daycares and I've been babysitting since I was 9 years old. And there was so much that I didn't know because it's not talked about. And so I hope we just become more open and helpful with each other, to each other. When we see a baby crying out in public or a kid crying in public, the dirty looks, like, you know, the judgment, I just hope that stops and we just become a little bit more empathetic and helpful to each other.
Thanks so much for taking the time.
Yes, thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you guys.